You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Good morning and welcome to Matinair on Air. Jane Matinair, Greg Bach, Calvin Butenoff, coming to you live from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can always join us, call or text. The number is the same, 855-752-4842. You can also leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. We are hitting the road.
Yes.
After our shows tomorrow, Matinair on Air and the Todd Alva Show going on the road, hitting parts of Wisconsin. We'd love to do it. We have a big state.
It's a huge state.
It is a big state.
So much of it I haven't seen.
I know. Well, you're going to get to see some new areas.
Nice.
This Wednesday, we are going to be in Oshkosh broadcasting from the EAA Museum. I hope you can join us for that. Should be a lot of fun. If you're in the Oshkosh area, we would love to meet you. So come on out and say hello. Again, our show will be broadcasting from 9 to 11, and then Todd from 2 to 4. And then when Todd is done with his show, we pack up.
Yep.
And we head to the next destination.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, we are in Oshkosh. On Thursday, we're going to be in Butternut.
Yay.
Broadcasting from Fanatical Fish Art Gallery. Thank you to Darla, who helped set this up.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
In Butternut. We're really looking forward to that. And we just had a great text come in from Mike in Green Bay, listening on WGBW. Butternut has the world's largest pine cone.
I have a lot of questions.
Standing over 107 feet tall, with a gift shop on the ground floor and a rotating restaurant and pub on the top. Oh, Mike.
So
maybe it's a recreation of a pine cone.
I was going to say, yeah,
I mean,
because
that sounds more.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're just describing a tree then. But this whole thing about a pub on top makes me a little nervous. That's about 10 floors up.
We are absolutely looking for that.
Got to investigate the pine cone.
You betcha, Mike. Thank you for that heads up about the world's largest pine cone.
Yeah.
See if we can. I would imagine it must be pretty easy to spot in Butternut. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of skyscrapers there that we're not aware of.
There's the world's second largest pine cone right next to it. It's just
Right.
various things of
very tall pine cones everywhere.
big squirrels. Yeah.
So we will be in Butternut on Thursday rather, and then Friday we are in Hayward, and we're going to be broadcasting from the Lot.
Yeah.
In downtown Hayward. It's right across from our studio there, WBZH in Hayward. It's a really pretty park.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have the tent and the whole schmear and all that stuff. But so you can come with the whole schmear, and maybe you can come by and have a scone of peace.
That's a reference.
I know.
That's a
we haven't talked about scones of peace for a long time.
Remember that, Jane? You would go to the farmers market
when we were still in Waukesha,
mm-hmm.
and I would work the farmers market for the station on Saturdays.
Yep.
And we had some callers who tended to want to go on and on and on and on.
Yes.
In making points when we had them on the air.
Yeah.
And because it is radio and we have time constraints,
mm-hmm.
I said, if you would like to be able to have a long conversation with me, I'm here at the farmer's market for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Stop by the Civic Media tent and I'll buy you a cup of coffee and we can share a scone of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a wonderful bakery there that sold maple bacon scones that will change the course of your life. They were fantastic.
I know. I ate all the leftovers.
I used to buy 10 of them.
Yeah.
Hoping, because I was very sincere about that. Sit down with me and let's have a longer discussion. And nobody ever took me up on it.
And I don't mean to degrade the scones of peace.
Scones.
No, they're great. I ate, doctors would say too many of them. But that's to me, a real commentary on it. I mean, I'll take you behind the scenes even a little bit more. We get text messages from people who do not like us,
mm-hmm.
I should say, well, they don't like us. Yeah. They don't like what we say. They don't agree with what we're trying to discuss here. And that's fine.
No problem.
No problem. And they will tell us. Sometimes they'll be very to the point of what we're discussing. Sometimes they'll just call me a buffoon. But either way, I always I try to respond, depending on what you say to us, with, hey, provide context to what you're saying. How are we wrong? What are we quote unquote lying about? Send me an article. Send me something that gives some
back up your argument.
Tell me that you did the work. Show your work. Do the research. That kind of thing. All that stuff. And it never comes back. And I think that for me, Jane, is so disappointing because, look, I know I'm not right about everything. And I know that my opinion isn't the same opinion as everyone. But at the very least, if you're going to try to call us out on something, I want information that will prove your point, or at least give me pause and say, oh, let me look into that.
Right. I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me some. Yeah. But again, I've maintained this from the very beginning when I was producing for Kristen.
Yeah.
When I first started here at Civic Media, if all you have are insults and profanities, then you have no argument.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to waste my time engaging with you because it is a waste of time.
Mm-hmm. There is one, I'm not going to mention names, but there is a listener who did send me some information about a week or two ago regarding vouchers. And there was a lot of information there. There was a lot of websites, a lot of just information backing up their points. I am still going through it.
Great.
So to the person who sent that to me, I didn't forget about you. I didn't ignore you. It's just there was a lot there, and I talk on the radio for a living. I am not a deep researcher, so I have to work a little harder. But I want to take that information in, so make sure that we are saying the right things. When we are talking about our points, we are using correct details and correct
and accurate
data.
information.
Exactly.
Accurate information.
Yes.
And this is also why we say frequently, we are not experts.
No.
That's why we speak to actual lawyers and actual doctors and actual farmers and economists and people who deal with business and transport and tariffs.
Yes.
So we are expert adjacent. That's why we bring experts on.
And we trust their expertise,
Yes.
and I think that's, in today's day and age, if you say, oh, this person has got 2 PhDs in this topic that we're talking about, what do you think? And if they say something that a person disagrees with, they automatically go, well, you're lying, you're fake news, you're AI, you're all these things. So even in the face of expertise, people still will say, well, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's wild. I think that's crazy pants to me that you're going to look at someone who is a true like spokesperson for their field and say, you're wrong.
Because I've done my own research.
Yeah, because that guy on TikTok said the thing I agree with, and I like him more. And he has, Jane, millions of followers.
Yeah, that has taken the place of expertise, though. It has.
Yep.
The follower count you have is now somehow legitimizes your opinions.
Yeah, Sue from Franklin is texted in saying, so true. I post stuff on Facebook like Heather Cox Richardson's letters.
She's so brilliant.
She's so wonderful. And she's been on Maggie's show a few times. Yep. I asked those that disagree to explain their position, and of course, crickets. And
or they come back with insults and profanities.
And that happened to me as well. That when the horrible, tragic shootings in Minnesota took place, I just posted it with just sort of like, here's what happened. This is awful. And I was immediately being told, well, that guy was a super leftist. He was upset that Minnesota lawmakers voted to take away healthcare availability to illegal immigrants or undocumented folks. And I was like, I don't think that's true. And then they sent me these screenshots of portions that didn't even agree with what they were saying or prove. It just were sentences. So finally, I waited, I think, a day, and then AP. The Post, Reuters, posted articles about this gentleman who is being accused of these actions. And I just said, here you go. Nothing since. No response since. Just, as Sue put it, crickets.
Yeah.
So I think that for me, that's a bummer because I want to have those discussions. I want to have those conversations. And when they push their narrative at you and then you're like, well, what about this thing? They're like, sign off.
Right. Well, right. It's an argument they either weren't anticipating and they just didn't even think about that. Right. It's like, oh, I didn't think you'd have a comeback for that.
No,
I wasn't expecting a comeback.
Yeah.
That makes that uncomfortable. If you want to have longer discussions, please come out and see us when
Yeah.
we're on the road. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, our show ends at 11. Todd's show doesn't start until 2. We got all kinds of time.
Well-
I'll find scones in Oshkosh. We'll have Oshkosh scones of peace or butternut scones of peace. Hayward scones of peace. Carmela from Milwaukee. Jane shared the scones of peace with me and my husband at the Waukesha Farmers Market, but there was no opposition between us, so we called it a scone of love.
Oh, that's very, very cute.
That
We hope
was
you're doing
nice.
well, Carmel. It's been ever since we moved out of Waukesha, we haven't seen some of these individuals. but
Right.
We wish you nothing but the best. Mike from Green Bay getting back to us about butternut. Butternut also has the forest that time forgot. It is about 25 acres of pristine northern forest that has free roaming animatronic giant sloths. Are you sure they're animatronic? Sloths are pretty slow. Velociraptors and pterodactyls. Definitely a good hike.
Ooh.
Might have to pack some
Walking shoes.
some boots, or
Some hiking shoes.
Yeah.
Also, Troy sent us in a list of ice cream places.
Thank you, Troy. You are the best.
A great ice cream trail
Yeah.
that we're going to be following as well.
But in all of this conversation, we still encourage people to reach out to us. If you disagree with us, if you have a problem with what we're saying, please text us, email us, voice note us, whatever it is, call us. But always, we just want you to bring something to the conversation. And if we're wrong, tell us what we've said that is incorrect. Show us the proof, and we'll go from there.
Give us an opportunity. We like to learn.
Yeah. But don't make fun of my haircut or call me fat. I mean,
Well,
that's just weird.
Again, telling me I'm old and unattractive, that, ow. Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
That really, ouch.
Don't you want to lose some weight? Actually, I would like to. It'd be nice. I'd go for a walk.
Oh my God, you don't want to sleep with me? I'm shocked. Jean from Eau Claire is on the line. Good morning, Jean. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure, you make me laugh before I started talking.
Good.
Anyway, hey, I think you two are really beautiful, and I agree with everything you say. And I am very thankful that you're getting the facts out to the people because they've been brainwashed for so long by right-wing radio, nonstop, all day, same subject, same verbiage. So keep up the great work, guys, because there's a lot of us out there that appreciate you, and God darn it, we love you, and you have a good trip when you're going around the state. Bye.
Thank you so much, Jean.
Bye, Jean. Thank you very much. We love
We
hearing from
need
you.
Jean just to call us once a day for an ego fluff. She's the best. She really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really appreciate
Yeah,
that,
really
Jean.
appreciate and yeah, for all the people who call and text, we just really, and we love hearing from you.
It makes it all worthwhile.
Mhm.
It really, really does.
Yes, it does.
Coming up after 10:30 is the segment that we typically call Audio Sorbet,
What?
where we like to lighten things up, get away from the news, and take a little collective breath so we can all retain our sanity. Superman is open. The latest Superman 427 is out in the theaters now, and I know you guys saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much looking forward to your recap of the new Superman, and then we're going to talk about really popular movies that everybody has seen except you.
Yeah.
That's Audio Sorbet. Be thinking about it now. You're listening to Matt Nair on Air on the Civic Media Radio Network. We will be right back.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
He was.
Good morning and welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, Calvitini on the board, coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can always join us. Call or text at 855-752-4842. Leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. Coming up after the very end of the show, we'll wrap it up as we always do with This Shouldn't Be a Thing. Today it is the Fossil Envy edition. Yes, we are green with envy over a state picking a better fossil than ours.
It'll make sense when we explain it because it's a long-standing envy that will never, ever be quenched.
Apparently not. Tisbat coming up at 10:51. Stick around for that. I did want to talk about this. This came out a couple of weeks ago, but it still makes me laugh. From the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Sophie Teague with the article, The Saga of Milwaukee's Official Flag
Oh, God.
could be entering could be entering its final chapter. This has been the longest, most drawn-out thing of little to no consequence in recent history. Right?
It is such... to tell the whole story would take way too much time. I think it's embarrassing.
That they can't get it done?
Well, not even that the fact that this even happened in the first place, because it was so mishandled from the beginning. And
mishandled because they didn't get enough opinions, or how was it mishandled?
One thing, they didn't get enough opinions.
Okay.
And there was no real movement to actually change it. They were like, we're going to try to get some new flag designs. And well, are we changing the flag? This was not a well thought out plan from the jump. The fact that this is still happening, and I'm sorry, I don't like the quote unquote people's flag.
You don't like the sunrise over the lake?
I like the design, but I don't like everything behind it, because I think it really just shows a sense of, I don't know, the amount of people they asked to vote for this was a very, very small percentage. It wasn't even, I think, 1% of the population, or I think it was 1% plus of the population of Milwaukee voted on this.
Okay.
And the people who fly the flag, to me, it just feels like it's a thing like, this is our flag. Well, no, it's not. This is not a flag of the people. It's not even the people's flag. It's your flag. You chose it. And now you think now the city is awash in this image. Anyone who's everyone has some form of this flag, some variation on that theme. And I think it just speaks deeply to what Milwaukee's trying to make themselves into eventually. Being cool and hip.
Well, who doesn't want to be cool and hip?
But then you invite all the people. You make the process inclusive.
Well, it's inclusive now. There's 400 people on this board. Okay, I might slightly be overstating that. But this has been going on since 2001.
Oh, wow.
The Common Council wanted to amend the city's original flag design. Nothing happened until 2016. The people's flag was entered in a design contest and ultimately won, but it was not made official. Mm-hmm. In 2018, the Common Council and the Milwaukee Arts Board worked together to come up with a new flag, but it was determined it was not inclusive enough. So again, we're still working on it. People's flag. The task force now will include 3 members appointed by the mayor.
Can I stop you right there? The task force?
The task force. The flag task force will include 3 members appointed by the mayor, 3 appointed by the Common Council president, 3 appointed by the chair of the Milwaukee Arts Board. Okay. The people's flag design should be resubmitted, but they also want new proposals. After narrowing down 10 finalist flags, the Common Council says it will vote on recommendations by December 31st of this year. So let's see how long this takes.
Is there anything in that story about just putting it to the entirety of the people, saying hey, the people of Milwaukee, come vote? Or is this the task force is going to, I know there's going to be discussions and whatnot, but really when it comes down to the flag and the flag design, I feel like the people of Milwaukee, one, should have a voice, because if it's the people's flag,
right? But
also just need more time. We're talking about July, which means it'll probably get started in August, maybe.
They better get going.
That's August, September, October, November, 4 months. I don't know. To me, for one thing, this doesn't need to happen. This is a committee or commission or a task force.
I know.
What is this, crime? Is this we need to get this done now?
To fix concerns about the inclusivity in the process of selecting a flag, the task force would allow submissions to be made both online and in person.
I'm just putting it out right now to John Oliver, because when it comes to flags, you love this sort of thing. And if you could help either shut it all down or make it the funniest thing ever, please do so. I just feel like this is not.
Can send it into last week tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't feel like, and I haven't lived in Milwaukee for a few years, but I know that in my time there, one of the things that really concerned me was never the flag.
Yeah, I don't hear that coming up in a lot of, our neighborhood discussions about what's the number one concern facing residents of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Flag rarely comes up.
No.
Rarely.
No, not at all.
Maybe it'll come up more now.
Housing, that's something we could talk about.
But there's a task force, you guys.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
They're on it.
That's on someone's resume now.
We're on it. We have news coming up next, and when we return, a little audio sorbet. We're talking movies. I hope you can stay with us. You're listening to Matt Nair on Air. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. Good morning and welcome to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, Calvinator on the board, coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can join us, call or text at the same number, 855-752-4842. Leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. And just a reminder as well, make sure you download the Civic Media app. It is absolutely free, and it's great. You can do all kinds of things. You can pick your favorite stations. Civic Media now with like 20 stations across the state. Mm-hmm. Bunch of them are music. If you want to listen to some of our great music stations like WRJN, which is right across the hall from us, download the Civic Media app and pick your station. And then you can also call or text or leave a voice note.
Yes.
Directly to the station, which is pretty cool. So wherever you get your apps, download the Civic Media app, CIVIC, Civic Media, and then get ready for Free Ticket Fridays, which is going on all summer long. We are playing for 4 packs of Milwaukee Brewers Club level tickets.
I need to go to a game.
Well, you're our biggest baseball fan.
I know, and I feel like I'm letting everyone down right now. And
they're on fire.
Since July, if I counted it correctly, they've won 9 of their 12 games this month. And they've swept the Dodgers, and now they've swept the Nationals. And they are 1 game away from first place. They're 1 game away from tying
the Cubs.
And like I've said before, 2 months ago, it was not the case. It was not what we were talking about. We were talking about a Brewers that was going to be mid at best with a lot of changes, but they have taken they've working with what they got. They're doing really well.
Yeah, they are.
And they've got a couple all-stars on their team. And by the way, people are baseball players are unhappy about Jacob Misiorowski being
in the
Well,
he's playing in the All-Star game, right?
Yeah, and I while I understand their contempt because he just started.
He's played 4 games.
He's been here for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, I just say nana nana boo boo, ha 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 ha. I'm a professional.
Obviously.
Thank you.
But the Brewers are on a break right now. They're on the All-Star break, and I believe they're back in action on Friday.
This weekend, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so the new Superman is out. This is the segment of the show that has turned into Audio Sorbet, where we talk about things away from the news so we can all have a palate cleanser for our brains and just take a little minute to take a big breath. Mm-hmm. So Superman opened over the weekend, and that got us talking about really popular movies.
Yes.
Blockbusters that everybody's like, oh my God, did you see that thing? And that was my favorite part of the thing. And you are going, I didn't see it.
Movies that when you tell people you haven't seen them, that gets always the same answer.
What
do you mean you haven't seen? Insert movie name here.
Exactly. What is that movie?
Tell us.
Can't believe you haven't seen blank.
Yeah.
At 855-752-4842, 855-75-Civic. First, I'd like to know what you guys thought about the new Superman movie.
Calvin, I'm going to let you start because you saw it, and I saw it last Tuesday. Calvin, I believe you saw it on Thursday, but you go ahead first, Cal.
Yeah. Failed screenwriter Ben Shapiro did not like it. So if that
it must be a hit then.
Yeah. No, I really, really liked it. I'm not a big superhero movie person in the past, mostly because the only option was really Marvel. But in preparation for this movie, I've read some DC comics and some Superman comics, and it was really good. It lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
Did you think so too?
Oh, absolutely. I have been burned enough times by various movies, whether it's Marvel or many times by DC, that when I went in there, and I went with a friend of mine who is a discerning comic book fan, and even more so comic book movie fan, where he doesn't see all of them because usually they let him down, and he wanted to see this. And at the end of the movie, we saw a sneak preview because there was a thing, if you were a Prime member, you get access. It wasn't free or anything like that. There was no red carpet. It was literally, do you have Amazon Prime? You know, like 200 million other people. I could buy tickets to a Tuesday showing. And we did. And we went there and we watched it. And at the end, we clapped. We clapped. It wasn't even
the audience clapped?
The audience clapped. And my friend said, I really like that. And that was a huge compliment from him. And for me, I loved it. I just enjoyed the tone. I enjoyed the banter. I enjoyed the writing.
Was it funny?
Yes, it had fun. It was, Cal, I don't know what you think about it. It was funny in all the right spaces. It wasn't overly funny. It wasn't trying to be a comedy, but it had a lighter tone definitely than the other Superman movies that have come out in the past few years, which are always about like dark and gritty and Superman is so tortured.
Yeah.
Cal?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the Superman movies that came earlier. This was my first Superman movie, but yeah, it was genuinely hilarious, while at the same time it still had its emotional moments that were never undercut. So yeah, it was really good.
I guess my main question is, does he still fly like this? Does he still fly like that?
He does various. He
does
okay.
various flying.
So what you're thinking of? You're thinking of like Christopher Reeve and
Yes.
George Reeve.
Yes, with the arms straight out in front.
If I'm not mistaken, he does various things while he's flying. He's either his arms will be to the side to go, I'm sure, faster,
Okay.
or like fists out in the air. But yes, he does some variation on that.
Always seemed goofy to me.
You know what?
It's just a thin, whatever.
Whatever. I just feel like anything you can do.
Just when I think about if I could fly, I would not do that.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't do that, but okay. Yeah. I mean, well, you don't know. I think you would do it instinctually because we've all been
now.
conditioned on generations of, and it's not even Superman. It's whether or not it's Superman or some flying character. They're always
with the arms straight
out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. What movie everybody else has seen and they can't believe you have never seen it? 855-752-4842. What movie has everybody else on the planet seen? And you say, yeah, I never saw. I can't believe you never saw blank.
What's your movie?
What is your movie? Ben from Richland Center, listening on WRCE. Believe it or not, I have never seen Forrest Gump or any of the Back to the Future movies.
Ben, man, I would like to ask how old you are, because I feel like that doesn't surprise me now if people like under the age of 30 haven't seen Back to the Future. If you see it, you see it. But there are movies that my generation put a high premium on growing up. And so, you know, whether it's Die Hard or the Back to the Future movies, Goonies, there are movies out there that are more these aren't they're not The Godfather. They're not The Bicycle Thieves. They're not on the AFI top movies of all time.
Sure.
But they're movies that we grew up watching. So then when we hear that others don't see it, we get immediately shocked or incensed. Sometimes people get a little insulted. I know.
Taking
Calm
yourselves
down.
a little too seriously there, folks.
But I think people under the age of 30, there's so much media out there.
Yeah.
That, and also, if your dad really liked it, you might be like, I'm not watching that movie. Like, I didn't watch West Side Story ever because my mom loves it. And I'm like, that looks dumb. You know what I mean? Like, it was a pushback.
It can turn you up. That's interesting. I personally, Ben, the best of the Back to the Future movies was the first one. I wouldn't bother with any of the other ones.
Second one isn't bad. Third one's a little extraneous, but have you seen it?
I have.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
The first one is great, and I just love the humor and everything to me was wonderful about it, but I don't think you missed a whole lot by skipping out on the other ones. Tammy from Eau Claire says, I didn't see Don't Look Up. That was on Netflix.
Yeah,
Still on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched that. I was like, this is this is massively heavy-handed, and I don't know. Like,
Did you think so? See, I really enjoyed it.
I was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I like Adam McKay as a director. I think he's got great movies. Not Moneyball. The Big Short. He directed The Big Short, and I love that film.
I do too.
But I just, after a while, I'm like, I get it. And it might just be my aversion to some of the people in the movie, but I was like, whatever. I get it.
855-752-4842. People go, you never seen what movie? What is your movie? 855-75-CIVIC. It's Audio Sorbet for today. Caesar from Madison listening on WAUK. Star Wars for me.
Yep. And that's another thing, too, is I'm interested, I'm not sure if it's Caesar or Cesar, but like Cesar and Ben, their ages, because once again, it's that thing of like,
maybe not too young, perhaps.
Yeah.
When they came out.
Well, just no interest in the hype that our generation created around some of these films. So, Jim from Brookfield says, I have never seen E.T. I believe I was in the small minority when the movie was running in the theaters. To this day, I've not seen it. I saw the movie in the theaters with my mom and my sister, and I was embarrassed when they were crying because I didn't understand why they were crying. I was too little. I was too little to understand the emotional value of the film. So when they were crying, I remember specifically being like, why are you doing this?
Makes no sense.
This is like, at the time, I'm like,
touch your heart, falling home. No?
Yes, I remember. Oh, Cesar is 61. Okay. Yeah. It's an interesting question. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not a scientist. I'm not doing research. John from West Bend listening to WAUK is a Top Gun Maverick. I've never seen that one either. And I didn't see Top Gun until maybe 10 years ago.
I hated that movie.
That didn't surprise me.
I did not like that movie.
What movie for you is the one that when you say it, people are like, excuse me?
I've never seen any of the Batman movies.
That's interesting. Especially, I'm surprised by that for two reasons. One, Batman 89 with Michael Keaton was just such a moment. Like, you remember that summer, there wasn't a person who didn't have some sort of bat symbol on them. It was everywhere. But also, being in radio, I'm surprised that there wasn't some sort of
promotion or something?
Promotion saying, here's some tickets, here's someone from the movie.
Not that I remember.
Yeah.
And because again, I grew up with the TV series.
Yeah.
Which was funny and campy and silly and all of those things. And Batman went so dark.
Yeah.
All of the movies went so dark.
You'd love, honestly, I'm not being funny when I say this, you would probably love the George Clooney Batman then, because that is
more of the feeling
camp.
of
it's more camp and funny.
But that's like the least liked of the Batman movies, isn't it?
It's
the one with Clooney.
It's between nowadays, when you talk to Batman fans, it's going to be between Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, because Batman Returns, the second Tim Burton one, was so not just dark in its presentation, but dark in its palette. It's like grays, blues, and blacks, period. That the third one is so colorful, it's over the top. And yeah, so I would say, if you can find it on streaming, watch Batman and Robin and giggle, because it is so campy.
All right.
I'll just say this. He has a Batman credit card.
I just want the old Burgess Meredith penguin going whack, 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 whack. That's what I remember.
I've never seen Jaws.
Really?
Yeah.
Any desire?
No. Well, now, yes, because it's the 50th anniversary. How does that make you feel?
It's still a scary movie.
And that's the other thing, too.
It is.
Growing up, I was always told it was a scary movie, and there was
it still stands the test of time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the one that gets me the most, like, what? How have you never seen that?
Jaws?
Yeah.
When we return, we're going to wrap things up with This Shouldn't Be a Thing. Today it's the Fossil Envy edition. Stay close. You are listening to Matt Nair on Air on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Buck, Calvinator on the board, coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine, where you can join us. Call or text. The number is the same, 855-752-4842. Leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter coming up tomorrow. Nathan Deming is going to be here.
He's back.
He is back. He was on about a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, when we were still talking about the Wisconsin state budget that was in the process and the potential for some tax film credits, which have passed.
Yes, they're going to create a film department.
A film department in Wisconsin, which is great. So Nathan is a filmmaker. He was born in Wisconsin, but he travels now between Wisconsin and Los Angeles, which is where he is based. So Nathan's going to join us tomorrow in hour number 2 to talk about what this will mean for movie making in Wisconsin, which I can only think is going to be good.
Yes. Yes. Ask Georgia. The state of Georgia.
Ask Georgia. No kidding. They pulled in a whole bunch of stuff down there. And then, too, we are going on the road on Wednesday. Matt and Aaron on air in the Todd Alba Show, hitting our We Love Wisconsin tour once again. Greg's coming along this time. We're going to broadcast Wednesday from Oshkosh, on Thursday from Park Falls, and then, on Butternut.
There it is.
Sorry. I apologize.
I'm so sorry, Butternut.
Butternut, my baby. And then on Friday in Hayward, if you have any suggestions on things you would think we should see, or great restaurants, or cheese shops, or whatever, like Mike's been sending in some great tips that we're going to check out when we're up there, just let us know. You can always contact us at janesays@civicmedia.us, JANESAYS @civicmedia.us. Calvin 1054. That means it is time for
This Shouldn't Be a Thing.
As always, if you have a thing you think should not be, send it into the aforementioned email at janesays@civicmedia.us. This from Sarah Kuda from the Smithsonian Magazine.
This is the
We're going
fanciest.
highbrow now with Tisbets.
This shan't be a thing.
This shan't be. Headline reads, bear-sized giant beavers once roamed North America, and they're now the official state fossil of Minnesota. Large extinct creatures roamed the Twin Cities area more than 10,000 years ago and could grow to more than 200 pounds.
That's fine. I mean, they could have their bear beavers if they'd like.
Giant beaver.
Giant beavers of beaverness.
Giant bear beavers.
Wisconsin, man, but we got it covered. We're fine. We got a great fossil. Jane, what's our fossil?
Calvin,
Like a giant dog?
A pterodactyl or something?
Yeah.
Kevin, what is Wisconsin's famous fossil?
So Wisconsin's state fossil is the trilobite. And I was hating a little bit earlier. I'll defend them a little bit. They are extremely old.
Okay.
The one thing that I'll criticize it was they are also one of the most widespread fossils in the entire world. You can find trilobite fossils all over the world. So I think that's kind of lame that Wisconsin picked that.
So not only does everybody have trilobites.
Yeah, and what a trilobite is it's an ancestor of bugs and lobsters. It's basically like a small shelled creature.
So it's kind of a crustacean thing?
Yeah, and what makes it hurt worse is the other option that we could have had is the mastodon.
What?
I know. Basically a woolly mammoth.
We took a trilobite over a mastodon?
Why do you keep
Yes.
calling it a trilobite?
Because I don't know. It's
Do you just
what
want to be special and different?
It's what I was taught.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird. I was always told trilobite. We picked a trilobite over.
We could have had a
We
mastodon.
could have had a mastodon.
And then said, take that, Minnesota, and your giant bear-sized beaver
Exactly. It's all about the
fossil.
I mean, face. Your face. What just a waste and a disappointment. No offense to the trilobites, but like.
But again, it's like if as Calvin said, they're everywhere.
Exactly.
So it's already pretty common. Not that it wasn't important to evolution and all of those things. It just doesn't have that oomph.
So, folks, remember, it's important you vote because my
Look
vote
at the ramifications of voting that we don't even consider.
flags and
We could have had
fossils.
the mastodon, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I am very sad that we didn't pick the maybe we can change it. I mean, no offense to the trilobite. We can. How about this? Wisconsin's official small fossil is the trilobite. Wisconsin's
Large.
real fossil is the mastodon.
I think, Calvin, we may have to do some more research into this and figure out exactly whose decision it was to land on the little one instead of the mastodon. Well done, Minnesota. You got us again. That's why it's the Fossil Envy edition. That wraps up today's episode of
This Shouldn't Be a Thing.
Again, coming up tomorrow, Nathan Deming will be here. We're going to talk all things movies in Wisconsin and what this new rule is going to mean. It's very exciting. I think it's a great thing. It should be good for all of us.
Yeah.
We have Tom Hartman coming up next from 11 to 2. And then our travel partner, Todd Alba, coming up from 2 to 4. Maggie Dawn from 4 to 6. And join Pete Schwabel for Nightlight from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a great way to unwind.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Thank you, Greg and Calvin and all of our engineers, because without you, nothing works. And thank you most of all for calling and for texting and for listening. It means the world. I hope you find some joy today and you get the chance to share it. Keep it right here on the Civic Media Radio Network, and we will see you tomorrow.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.